Shalom, shalom, shalom to the 12 tribe that's scattered abroad. Shalom, shalom to the 12 tribe that's scattered abroad. Welcome back to the reading of the Bible with your brother Nehemiah. How y'all doing today? First off, before we get started, y'all already know what you got to do. Y'all already know. We want to give all praise and honor to the God of Israel, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Yahweh Bahashem, Hamashiach. I'd like to give all praise and honor to him and glorify him in the Son. How everybody doing today? How the 12 tribe doing today? Well, today, man, y'all know we in Leviticus, picking up back up in Leviticus. I think we did Leviticus chapter 12. We left off in Leviticus chapter 11, describing about talking about the clean and the unclean beasts and whatever's in the ocean and rivers was clean to eat. Talking about that, he brought up, okay, you just call out a couple of names and call out a couple of things you shouldn't eat, especially dealing with that sea, man. Because, you know, we got a problem with that seafood. I remember I used to love that seafood. I used to eat. I love the catfish. But the scriptures say, if it don't have fins or scales, all that move in the water, they even talking about all that live in the water. That's what it's. Matter of fact, let's get this. Because that's a big thing right there. We don't look at that. We don't look at, he said, all that live in the water. That's a big thing. Because we out there eat moths, talking about, oh, it's good. They, you know how they, wherever they be ordering the moth, say you mix it with whatever they got to mix with. They have it in pills forms or tablets or some stuff like that. Moths grow on in the water. I don't know which moths they using, because you got moths that grow in the tree, you got moths grow in the water. So I don't know which moths they using. But he said, these shall ye eat. This is Leviticus chapter 11, verse 9. He said, these shall ye eat of all that are in the waters. These shall ye eat of all that are in the water. Whatsoever had fins and scales in the waters, in the seas, and in the river, them shall ye eat. So whatsoever have fins and scales, them shall you eat. Now, check this out. I'm going to continue in verse 10. And it say, and all that have not fins and scales in the seas and in the river, of all that moves in the waters, and of any living thing which is in the water. Listen to what it said now. Whatever any living thing, moths live in water, and it's living. Moths live. How you think it grow? If it were dead, if it wasn't getting no, that's where they get its oxygen from. In the water, if it ain't live, it wouldn't never grow. It tell you which is in the water. It tell you all that move in the water. Moths move in the water. And of any living, he say any. Any don't mean any. So anything that's in that water that live, moves, if it ain't got fins or scale, you cannot eat it. I know moths ain't got no goddamn fins or scale, but y'all popping this shit. See, y'all still listen to y'all oppressors. Y'all still listen to the heathen. Y'all still follow them. Y'all don't follow God. Because if you did, you'll listen to what he said. Even some of the Israelites will say, well, moth's good for you, you know. And then when I show them this scripture, oh, they don't mean that. What does it mean? That what it read? It telling you exactly what it's saying. I know what the hell I'm reading. And I might drop out in the ninth grade. I might quit school in the ninth grade. But I do know what I'm reading. I do got a little sense to comprehend. I know what it just said. Of all that move in the water. Anything that move in the water. And of any living thing. You have grass, moss, vine. You have all types of shit grows in the water. And they living. That's their habitat. That's their environment. If you really get a chance to see the deep of the deep, you will see a lot of stuff that you ain't know that grows in the water. Yeah, it grows in the water. You got plants that grows in the water. And they all living. It's living organs. But I just wanted to freshen that up because y'all have to pay attention that a lot of people gonna be getting punished for that. But all of it ain't saying putting to death. Because I know he said he gonna kill you about that pork. I know he said that unclean food is abominable for you, but it be certain ones. Certain laws don't commit all death. He basically tell you which law they're gonna get you put to death. Like not keeping the Sabbath. That's death. What he did to that man when that man went to pick them sticks up. Most of them put him in jail until they had to make a decision. And Moses went to the Lord, and what the Lord said, well, he surely must die. He put him to death. So keeping the Sabbath, eating that pork, I know them two put you to death. It's more. You just have to read it and find out. Let me read verse 11 too. Let me finish. Which is in the water, they shall be an abomination unto you. Verse 11, they shall be even an abomination unto you. Ye shall not eat of their flesh, but ye shall have their carcass in abomination. Whatsoever had no fins nor scales in the water, that shall be an abomination unto you. It ain't hard. It ain't hard. Okay. Well, let's continue with this, man. We're going to go on into Leviticus chapter 12. So everybody get their King James Version out with the Apocrypha. Like I always say, cuz, if you don't have the Apocrypha, you can always download the King James Version with the Apocrypha on your phone. And you'll always have it. Them are the 14 books that they took it out. And I advise people need to read them 14 books. And you'll see exactly why they took them 14 books out. But y'all can open up to Leviticus chapter 12, and that's where we'll begin at. And I just do it at the end before I get ready to close out. Because I forgot to say my little slogan, what I always say. But if everybody ready and they open up, con, and we will begin. This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 12, and verse 1. And it reads, and the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, now the Lord finished speaking to Moses once again. You see, it always he's going to Moses, speaking to the Lord, speaking to Moses, so Moses speaking to the children of Israel. and give them the commandment, give them the statute, give them the law, give them the judgment. Like the judgment when Moses went and inquired to the Lord to find out what to do to the man with the stick. That was a judgment the Lord gave him. The Lord gave us law, statute, commandment, and judgments. He didn't give us no religions. He didn't say, I want you to go be Baptist. He didn't tell Moses, tell the children of Israel they need to become Christian and go worship Buddha or go be a Baptist. No. He told Moses to give the children of Israel law, statute, commandments, and judgment. That we walked down with it on the 2 tablets. Remember? And the 10, when you read that, we've been through this already. We already read it. But when you read that, it just wasn't 10 commandments on there. We saw that as we were reading that. It was more than 10 commandments on there. They just put 10 commandments in the book. Okay, let's continue. Verse 1 again from the top. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, If a woman have conceived seed and born a man child, then she shall be unclean 7 days according to the days of the separation, for her infirmity shall she be unclean. So when a woman bears a seed, conceived the seed, it say if a woman have conceived seed, meaning she got pregnant, and born a man child, meaning she gave birth, then she shall be unclean. After she gave birth, she shall be unclean for 7 days, according to the days of the separation for her infirmity. Let's get the definition of that. Infirmity. And I'm gonna make sure I'm saying it right.
Infirmity.
Infirmity. And infirmity is a physical or mental weakness, frail or ailment, often occasioned with old age, chronic illness, or disability. It can also refer to a moral or personal failing. So it's like hold on. What does the Bible mean by infirmity? In the Bible, infirmity is referring to any state of physical, mental, or spiritual weakness and limitation derived from original Hebrew and Greek words like astonity. It encompasses sickness, It encompasses bodily sickness, chronic elements, and the innate vulnerability of human nature. It's like a sickness. So infirmity, after a woman have her pregnancy, after she give birth, she ain't got the energy. She have to regain strength. I'm quite sure she do. Quite sure she do. So it basically like a physical, mental weakness after she gave birth. So she be unclean. So she should be unclean 7 days according to the days of the separation of her infirmity. Verse 3. And in the 8th day, the flesh of his foreskin shall be circumcised. Now that's the sign. And the 8th day, that's when the son gets circumcised, right? Remember, we already talked about all this. He told this to Abraham. Abraham had to go back and circumcise even himself. If you being bought with money, born within in the family, or however you become amongst them, even they servants have to be circumcised. Have to be circumcised. So in the 8th day of the flesh of his foreskin shall be the circumcision of the son that she gave birth to. Verse 4. And she shall then continue in the blood of her purified 3 and 30 days. She shall touch no hollow thing, nor come into a sanctuary until the days of her purified be fulfilled. So, with them 7 days, she still got to purify herself with 33 days. 33 days. She shall not touch. She shall touch no hollow, nothing considerate. Let's get the definition of hollow. What's it mean?
Hallowed.
It means holy, right? Hollow is an adjective that means holy, right? Scarred or greatly revered. It describes something highly respected, usually due to its immense importance, historical signification, or association with long-standing tradition. So, hallowed. She shall not touch nothing holy. She cannot nor come into the sanctuary. She cannot come to congregation. She got to stay out to herself. Because she's still purified in the blood. She shall then continue in the blood of her purified. She still is unclean. She's not allowed around the congregation. She's got to stay to herself. She even not allowed around her husband like that. She can't touch things because he can't come touch things with behind her. It's like she, you know, y'all 7-day blood thing. You have to be off to yourself. You cannot touch nothing holy. You cannot come around the congregation. It just told you cannot enter the sanctuary. Everything is right here. I tell y'all all the time, the Bible is self-explanatory. It explains itself. You ain't got to do nothing but read it. You ain't got to do nothing but read it. Until the days of her purified be fulfilled. And that's going to be 33 days. 33 days. Plus the 7 days. I wonder, is it plus the 7 days? Because the way I'm getting it, because you had started off with the 7 day first, and then now you come in, you still continue in your blood. You did your 7 day, because it was after, the 7 day came out the infirmity after she gave birth. You know, she weakened. She got to gain her strength back. If they either had to cut on her, or if she had to been push the thing out. You know, I ain't never gave birth, so I don't know how much energy it's gonna take and what it take. I know they lose a lot of blood. I know they lose a lot of shit. I done seen that. I saw that, but so it gonna be 733 plus 7. How it be? They tell y'all can't have sex in what, 6 weeks? That seems like that's around that time, right? That's about added up 6 weeks. That about add up to around that time. Be 40-some days or something like that. Because that's what it seemed like with the 33 plus the 7. That'll be 40 days. Then you might be still purified. We ain't through reading, you know. I'm just explaining each one little by little. Yeah, but I think that's be like 40 days. And you probably be, like I said, you probably got some more, but I can't tell because we just stopped right here. So it says she should be unclean until the days of her purified be fulfilled. She cannot touch nothing hollow. She cannot touch no hollow thing, nor come into the sanctuary. Verse 5. But if she bear a maid child, then she shall be unclean 2 weeks, as in her separation, and she shall continue in the blood of her purified 60 days. Now, this is different. Maid child. Let me see something. It got to be more definition to chambermaid, kitchen squad maid, ladies maid, specifically to the person needs of the female head of the household. I doubt one. There's his. Now, the maid, it got to be, because you got different, it's saying other contexts, while maid is primarily also associated, primarily associated with domestic labor. The word is also used in a few other contexts, like maid of honor, the principle of a chief bridesmaid in a wedding party. Now, that ain't what we looking for. He say, but if she bear a maid child, we looking for something like she gave pregnant. So it's obviously saying if she bear a girl, a daughter, a girl, a woman, or it ain't no woman. So it's saying if she bear a woman, a girl, a daughter, because that's what it's saying. It say, but if she bear a maid child. So I looked the definition of maid. It can be used for different other contexts too. So, but the one that was close to it was the one when it's talking about being a. Let me go back to it. The one it's talking about being a. Where is that? Okay, right here. What it say? Literary, historical, and archal reference to an unmarried girl or young virgin, often found in fairy tale. An unmarried girl or a young virgin. So when she gave birth, if she give birth to a maid child, then she shall be unclean 2 weeks, not 7 days, not 1 week, but 2 weeks. See, he was, so it was like that. Hold on. Let's finna read this before we jump to conclusion. It say, she shall be unclean 2 weeks, as in her separation, and she shall continue in the blood of her purifying threescore and 6 days. Now, we know 3 score. We know 1 score is what? 20. That's 20. 2 score is 40. So 3 score gonna be 60. That'll be 66 days, because it said 3score and 6 days. That'll be 66 days plus 2 weeks. Remember, she gonna be unclean 2 weeks. That's separation. That's as in her separation when she give birth. But she gonna then after them 2 weeks, she gonna continue in the blood of her purified 3score and 6 days. 66 days. So with the 2 weeks added, that'll be what? 76. That'll be 80 days. That'll be 80 days. That's like what? 2 months, by going on like 3 months. Let's continue. Verse 6. And when the days of her purified are fulfilled for a son or for a daughter, she shall bring a lamb of the first year for a burnt offering, and a young pigeon or a turtle dove for a sin offering unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation unto the priest. So after she give birth to a son or a daughter, and after her purifying are fulfilled, after her days are fulfilled, she gonna do 80 days for this daughter, and she gonna do what it was. It was 1 week and I think it was 33 days. Yeah, 1 week and 33 days. So it was gonna be like 40 days. 40 days for the son. And she got to bring a lamb of the first year. It got to be 1 year old for a burnt offering. That lamb is for the burnt offering. And a young pigeon or a turtle dove for a sin offering unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation unto the priest. Verse 7. Who shall offer it before the Lord and make an atonement for her, and she shall be cleansed from the issue of her blood. This is the law for her that had born a male or a female. Now, this is what we supposed to be doing, but this is what we're going to be doing when we make it back to the kingdom. This is what we're going to be doing when we get to where we got to go, when God put everything back to his proper Oginger, back in his spot, like putting us back from the bottom, putting us back on top, and taking the wicked from the top and putting them back on the bottom. When he put everything, this is what they're going to have to do after they give birth to a boy or a girl. This ain't nothing but a commandment. It's a law, but it's a commandment. This is what he told Moses to tell the children of Israel what they need to be doing. This is what you're going to do after you give birth. This is how they're supposed to do. I command you to do this way. What? They now circumcise the child, what? 3 days? Or, I don't know. But not the 8th day. No, they don't keep none of that. They even send you away from your child and keep your child for 3 days. They'll send you home and what you keeping my child for? It's a trip. Verse 8. Let's keep going, y'all, because we got a long way. And if she be not able to bring a lamb, then she shall bring 2 turtles or 2 young pigeons, the one for the burnt offering, and the other for a sin offering. And the priest shall make an atonement for her, and she shall be clean. That's the way she gonna be clean. She gonna have to make the atonement. The priest going, if she can't bring the lamb, she can bring 2 turtles or 2 young pigeons. The one for the burnt offering and the other for the sin offering. Now, if you can't afford a lamb, remember it said you bring a lamb and a pigeon for the burnt and sin offering. But if you can't get the lamb, now you got to bring two turtles or 2 young pigeons. The one for the burnt offering and the other for a sin offering. That's what you bring. Flip over to chapter 13, Leviticus. This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 13, verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron, saying, now last time he just spoke to Moses. Now he's speaking unto Aaron and Moses. And he's saying, verse 2, when a man shall have in the skin of his flesh a rising, that's swelling, a scab or bright spot, and it be in the skin of his flesh like the plague. Exact identity is unclear. The plague. Or leprosy, then he shall be brought unto Aaron the priest, or unto one of his sons the priest. So when a man shall have in the skin of his flesh a rising, a scab, or some bright spot, and it be in the skin of his flesh, like the plague, like when the folks had the boiling, and when the Most High sent the plague in Egypt and put the boil on, and they start bumping up and getting them bumps on it, they swelling. Yeah, that's what he's saying. Of leprosy, then he shall be brought unto Aaron the priest, or unto one of his sons the priest. Verse 3, and the priest shall look on the plague in the skin of the flesh, and when the hair in the plague is turned white, and the plague is in sight, be deeper than the skin of his flesh, it is a plague of leprosy. And the priest shall look on him and pronounce him unclean. Y'all understand it, right? He said that's gonna be that's the plague of leprosy. When the hair in the plague is turned white, and the plague in sight be deeper deeper than the skin of his flesh, it is the plague of leprosy. And let's see what that is. I'm gonna get the definition of leprosy. Leprosy, also known as Hansen disease, is a long-term infection disease caused by the bacteria. It's a Mycobacterium lepra, or Mycobacterium lepromatosis. It primarily affects the skin, peripheral nerves, eyes, and upper respiratory tract. So this shit can kill you. Wow. It said that the infection develop very slowly, and symptoms may take anywhere from 1 to 20 Wow, years to appear. Wow, so man, you walking dead. What the wow, cuz. So you won't it take a minute for it to develop. Cause it say the infection develop very slowly and symptoms may take anywhere from 1 to 20 years to appear. You can be sick and you don't even know it. Within the 1 to 20 years, you waiting to see if something gonna pop up on you so you can know if you sick. Wow, cuz that's some leprosy is some fucked up shit, ain't it? The signs are the primary signs including pale or reddish patches of skin that lose their sensational to heat, cold, or touch, numbness or weakness in the hand and feet, thick, thickness, peripheral nerves, especially around the elbows and knees, skin nodules and painless usula. So that what leprosy is, man. Let me continue reading. And the priest should look on him and pronounce him unclean. So you'll be unclean when the priest, if it like that. Verse 4, it say, if the bright spot be white in the skin of his flesh, and in sight be not deeper than the skin, and the hair thereof be not turned white, then the priest shall shut up him that had the plague 7 days. So if it be that way, if the bright spot be white in the skin of his flesh, and in sight be not deeper, this one ain't deeper. The first one was deeper than the skin. This one is not deeper than the skin, and the hair thereof be not turned white, then the priest shall shut up him that had the plague 7 days. So he gonna lock him down for 7 days. Shut him up. Just get him away from out of the camp. He got to go on the outside of the camp. You can't be like that. Remember when Moses' sister said what she said, and he put the leprosy on her, turned her white. He put her outside the camp. She had to stay outside the camp 7 days. And this is what he's saying right here. She had to stay outside that camp 7 fucking days. And Aaron tried to plead for her. Well, Moses said, she gonna take this punishment because she don't talk about my servant Moses. Well, y'all know what we read about that. Y'all know how the Most High put down for Moses. And that was Moses' sister. Blood sister. Same mama, same daddy. Yeah. That was him and Aaron's sister. She was the oldest. Then Aaron, and then Moses. Y'all have to remember all these things, man. You got to remember what you read. Verse 5. And the priest shall look on him the 7th day, and behold, if the plague in his sight be at a stay, and the plague spread not in the skin, then the priest shall shut him up 7 days more. So when he looked on him, and the plague after the first 7 days, and if the plague in his sight be at a stay, and it just stands still, and the plague spread not in the skin, and it ain't spread it nowhere, then the priest shall shut him up 7 days more. Shut him up 7 more days. Verse 6. And the priest shall look on him again the 7th day After that 7 days, it's 14 days now he been set up. It's 14 days. And behold, if the plague be somewhat dark, and the plague spread not in the skin, the priest shall pronounce him clean. It is but a scab, and he shall wash his clothes and be clean. Y'all heard that. Y'all understand that. It's not hard to figure. You don't have to do nothing but read, Israel. They say if you want to hide something from a black man, damn black man, because I ain't no black man. That's a color. That's a color in the crayon box. No. If you want to hide something from an Israelite, put it in the book. So I convinced and I hope that Israel, y'all start reading. I don't give a damn what it is. Just read. If you don't want to read the Bible, you ain't got to. You can read. Just read something. Just read. It'll expand your vocabulary. Since I've been reading, it been expanding my vocabulary. I learned words I ain't never knew. I'm learning how to pronounce certain words. Let's continue. So, but if it spreads not, and if it be dark, and the plague spread not in the skin, the priest shall pronounce him clean. It is but a scab. So he shall go wash his clothes, and he shall be clean. Verse 7. But if the scab spread much abroad in the skin, after that he had been seen of the priest for his cleansing, he shall be seen of the priest again. So if the scab spread much abroad in the skin, after he had been seen of the priest for his cleansing, meaning if the priest already checked him for his cleansing, and then he come back again and get checked again, and then spread, he shall be seen of the priest again. Because it's more than that. He seemed like he wanted to go outside from his camp. Let's continue. Verse 8. And if the priest see that, behold, the scab spread it in the skin, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is a leper. See? Now he got lepers. That's a leper. From verse 7, verse 8. Matter of fact, let me read both of them verses again together. Verse 7. But if the scab spread much abroad in the skin, after that he had been seen of the priest for his cleansing, he shall be seen of the priest again. And verse 8. And if the priest see that, this is when he's seeing them again, behold, the scab spread it in the skin, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is a leper. Remember when he seen the priest for his cleansing? And the priest, the spread much, but if the scab spread much abroad in the skin, that when the priest checked him again, and he seen that the skin was, the scab spread it in the skin, then the priest pronounced him unclean because he got lepers. He got to go outside of the camp for a certain period of time. Verse 9. When the plague of leprosy is in a man, then he shall be brought unto the priest. Listen, verse 10. And the priest shall see him, and behold, if the rising be white in the skin, and it have turned the hair white, and there be quick raw flesh in the rising. Verse 11. It is an old leprosy in the skin of his flesh, and the priest shall pronounce him unclean, and shall not shut him up, for he is unclean. So he ain't gonna shut him up. Because he is unclean. He said, remember we read, say it take like 1 to 20 years for you to see some. So this a old one they were just explaining. 1 to 20 years, probably 20 years before he seen it. That's why he said it was it described itself to make it be, to tell you that it say, and the priest shall, verse 10, it said, and the priest shall see him, and behold, if the rising, this how you know it's old, be white in the skin, and it have turned the hair white, and there be quick, this point right here, if there be quick, meaning swelling, raw flesh in the rising, it is an old leprosy in the skin. See, y'all get thrown off. I'm gonna tell you how y'all get thrown off. When they got the number, you got the book, chapter, verse. Now you read the verse, you say verse number 10. So when you jump to verse number 11, y'all think you're talking about something else, but it only just complete. Read it. It finishing what it is. They just stopped it and put a number right there so you can call it a verse. See, the old Bibles ain't like this. They ain't got no numbers in it. If you get that King James 11 with the 1611 King James with the Apocrypha, it ain't got numbers in it. That's that old version. It ain't got these numbers and verse in it like that. You can't say book, chapter, verse. You can say book and chapter, but you can't say verse. Because it ain't got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 verses like that. It ain't got the numbers bound. See, that's why, listen how I read. Verse 10, I'm going to read verse 10, and I'm going to bring it, I ain't even going to say verse 11. I'm just going to keep reading. I'm going to show you how it is. Because there's a colon they got behind it. A colon means you're going to continue what you was talking about. Right? I ain't that smart. I told you I dropped out in the 9th grade, but I did learn something. I ain't the smartest man in the world, but I damn sure ain't the dumbest man either. But it say, and the priest shall see him, and behold. I'm pausing because you got your comma, and you got your you got the colon, you got the, what's the other one called? You got one called the colon, that one with the comma and the dot, and you got the other one with the 2 dots. I can't remember what they're called. But you got these, so I'm gonna add these in, because this is how you supposed to read. And the priest shall see him, and behold, if the rising be white in the skin, and it have turned the hair white, and there be quick raw flesh in the rising, it is an old leprosy in the skin of his flesh. When I said it is, that started verse 11. You see how they just came in? That's all it is. That's how y'all be getting confused, man. That's how y'all be confused. Just read the Bible. Just read the Bible. Let's continue. He said, verse 11 again. It is an old leprosy in the skin of his flesh, and the priest shall pronounce him unclean, and shall shut him up, for he is Salaka, and shall not shut him up, for he is unclean. So he don't have to shut him up for no 7 days here, so he can keep coming back checking him. He got an old leprosy. So he already know what time it is. He don't have to shut him up. Let's continue. Verse 12. And if the leprosy break out abroad in the skin, and the leprosy cover all the skin of him that had the plague, from his head even to his foot, wheresoever the priest looketh. Verse 13. Then the priest shall consider, and behold, if the leprosy have covered all his flesh, he shall pronounce him clean that had the plague. It is all turned white. He is clean. So he didn't turn all white. Y'all listen. I know y'all been seeing the albino folk. That's what they be hollering like, the leprosy. I know y'all know because that I got a nephew, he albino. But he, like this girl I know stayed in Hope Hall. She was albino. She real albino. So I not understand about this shit will kill you, because she used to be sick. She couldn't even stand in the sun like that. It used to fuck her eyes up. I don't know if she died or not, but she had to go. Sometimes she had to go to the hospital to get treatment or some shit like that. And my nephew, when he was little, he couldn't be in that sun like that. Yeah, I know that. So that leprosy is like a albino. It just a curse from God. Part of the curse. We read all about that in what? Early Leviticus, Exodus. We read all about all that. So he is clean, because this whole body, and it covered his whole body to turn white. So he clean. It ain't spots like that no more. Let's continue. Verse 14. But when raw flesh appeared in him, he shall be unclean. So if the raw flesh swelling come up and it's a raw flesh, he's not clean. He's unclean. Verse 15. And the priest shall see the raw flesh and pronounce him to be unclean. For the raw flesh is unclean. It is a leprosy. Verse 16. Or if the raw flesh turn again and be changed unto white, he shall come unto the priest. Verse 17. And the priest shall see him, and behold, if the plague be turned into white, then the priest shall pronounce him clean that had the plague. He is clean. Verse 18. The flesh also, in which even in skin thereof was a ball, and is healed. Verse 19. And the place of the ball there be a white rising, or a bright spot, white, and somewhat reddish, and it be shewed to the priest. Verse 20. And if when the priest seeth it, behold, it be in sight lower than the skin, and the hair thereof be turned white, the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is a plague of leprosy broken out of the ball. It broken out of the ball, so it spread it. It contagious. You gonna get it. She gonna get it. He gonna get it. Maybe I got it. I got it. I got the leprosy. Let's continue. It had broken out of the ball. Ooh. Verse 21. But if the priest look on it, and behold, there be no white hairs therein, and if it be not lower than the skin, but be somewhat dark, then the priest shall shut him up 7 days. Verse 22. And if it spread much abroad in the skin, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is a plague. Verse 23. But if the bright spot stay in his place and spread not, it is a burning ball, and the priest shall pronounce him clean. Verse 24. Or if there be any flesh in the skin, whereof there is a hot burning, and the quick flesh that burneth have a white bright spot, somewhat reddish or white. Verse 25. Then the priest shall look upon it, and behold, if the hair in the bright spot be turned white, and it be in sight deeper, and it be in sight deeper than the skin, it is a leprosy broken out of the burning. Wherefore the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is the plague of leprosy. Verse 26. But if the priest look on it, and behold, there be no white hair in the bright spot, and it be no lower than the other skin, but be somewhat dark, then the priest shall shut him up 7 days. Verse 27. And the priest shall look up upon him the 7th day, and if it be spread much abroad in the skin, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is the plague of leprosy. Verse 28. And if the bright spot stay in his place, and spread not in the skin, but it be somewhat dark, it is a rising of the burning, and the priest shall pronounce him clean, for it is an inflammation on it is an inflammation of the burning. Let me see. Inflammation is your immune system naturally responds to injury, infection, or harmful stimuli. It acts as a protecting mechanism where your body sends white blood cell fluid and immune chemical to an infected area to eliminate threats and kickstart the healing. That inflammation. Let's continue. Verse 29. If a man or woman have a plague upon the head of the beard. Verse 30. Then the priest shall see the plague, and behold, if it be in sight deeper than the skin, and there be in it a yellow thin hair, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is a dry scab, even a leprosy upon the head or beard. Verse 31. And if the priest look on the plague of the scab, and behold, it be not in sight deeper than the skin, and that there is no black hair in it, then the priest shall shut up him that had the plague of the scab 7 days. And in the 7th day the priest shall look on the plague, and behold, if the scab spread not, and there be in it no yellow hair, and the scab be not in sight deeper than the skin. Verse 33, he shall be shaved, but the scab shall be not shaved, and the priest shall shut up him that had the scab 7 days more. Verse 34, and in the 7th day the priest shall look on the scab, and behold, if the scab be not spread in the skin, nor be in sight deeper than the skin, then the priest shall pronounce him clean, and he shall wash his clothes and be clean. 35, but if the scab spread much in the skin after his cleansing. Verse 36, then the priest shall look on him, and behold, if the scab be spread in the skin, the priest shall not seek for yellow hair. He is unclean. Verse 37, but if the scab be in his sight at a stay, and that there is black hair grown up therein, the scab is healed. He is clean, and the priest shall pronounce him clean. Verse 38, if a man also or a woman have in the skin of their flesh bright spot, even white bright spot. Verse 39, then the priest shall look, and behold, if the bright spot in the skin of their flesh be darkish white, it is a freckle spot that groweth in the skin. He is clean. Verse 40, and the man whose hair is falling off his head, he is bald, yet is he clean. Verse 41. And he that had his hair fallen off from the part of his head toward his face, he is four-headed bald, yet is he clean. Verse 42. And if there be in the bald head or bald forehead a white reddish sore, it is a leprosy sprung up in his bald head of his bald forehead. Verse 43. Then the priest shall look upon it, and behold, if the rising of the sore be white reddish in his bald head, or in his bald forehead, as the leprosy appeared in the skin of the flesh, he is a leprosy man, he is unclean. The priest shall pronounce him utterly unclean. His plague is in his head. Utterly unclean. Verse 45. And the leper in whom the plague is, his clothes shall be rent, tore, and his head bare, cut, and he shall put a covering upon his upper lip, and shall cry, unclean, unclean, all the days wherein the plague shall be in him, he shall be defiled. So all the days while he unclean, he shall be defiled. He is unclean. He shall dwell alone, without the camp shall his habitation be. He might be there forever. Verse 47. The garment also that the plague of the leprosy is in, whether it be a woolen garment or a linen garment, whether it be in the wrap or woof of linen or of woolen, whether in a skin or in anything made of skin, and if the plague be greenish or reddish in the garment or in the skin, either in the wrap or in the woof, or in anything of skin, it is a plague of leprosy, and shall be shewed unto the priest, and the priest shall look upon the plague, and shut up it that had the plague 7 days. Verse 51. And he shall look on the plague on the 7th day, if the plague be spread in the garment, either in the wrap, or in the woof, or in a skin, or in any work that is made of skin, the plague is a frightened leprosy. A frightened leprosy, it is unclean. Active. Frightened means active. Verse 52. He shall therefore burn that garment, whether wrap or wool, in woolen or in linen, or anything of skin, wherein the plague is, for it is a frightened leprosy. It shall be burnt in the fire. Verse 53. And if the priest shall look, and behold, the plague be not spread in the garment, either in the wrap, or in the woof, or in anything of skin, then the priest shall command that they wish the thing wherein the plague is, and he shall shut it up 7 days more. And the priest shall look on the plague after that it is washed, and behold, if the plague have not changed his color, and the plague be not spread, it is unclean. Thou shalt burn it in the fire. It is freight inward, whether it be bare within or without. And if the priest look, and behold, the plague be somewhat dark after the washing of it, then he shall rend it out of the garment, mean cut it out, or that may sure that what that mean. Yeah, tear. It mean, or out of the skin, or out of the wrap, or out of the wool. And if it appear still in the garment, either in the wrap or in the wool, or in anything of skin, it is a spreading plague. Thou shalt burn that. Shalakin. Thou shalt burn that wherein the plague is with fire. And the verse 58, and the garment wrap or wolf, or whatsoever thing of skin it be, which thou shalt wash if the plague be departed from them. Then it shall be washed the second time and shall be clean. Verse 59. This is the law of the plague of leprosy, and a garment of woolen or linen, either in the wrap or wolf or anything of skins, to pronounce it clean or to pronounce it unclean. That was the end of that. And that is the law of the plague of the leprosy. He gave you all commandment, statute, instruction on how to handle the plague of leprosy. What it is, what it take to do, how you go about it to come clean. Even what you have to burn on the burnt offering and the sin offering. He explained. I told you, the Bible explains itself. That whole chapter explained itself. Every chapter we read explains itself. And you get clarification when you read other chapters, see it in other books. That's precept upon precept. So you get line upon line when you read it straight down. But you got precept upon precept when you found it in another book. Because the same thing it said in here, it said it in the book, other book. It just said it different. You know how they be when y'all be taking them tests on them when you get the job and stuff, and then they want you to do this quiz thing. They ask you the same thing over and over again, but they just ask you in a different way. And a lot of y'all fail that shit. Let you know you ain't got common goddamn sense. I take that test and pass that test every time because I be like, damn, didn't you just ask me this 3 questions ago? You just asked me the same damn question. You just telling it to me, asking me in a different way. It's the same. I'm going to give you the same answer. Common sense, man. Just like the Bible. Common sense. That was the end of it, man. Like I always say, man, y'all can always go back over and go read it for yourself. I advise y'all to. Don't just take my understanding. Read it for yourself. That's why I always tell y'all, get y'all King James Version with the Apocrypha out. Read right along with me. These ain't my word. You ain't got to do nothing I say. I'm just repeating what the man said. It's not me. It's not me you dishing. It's not me you, I don't want to hear that shit. It's not me. It's him. You want to explain that to him. That's why he said you're going to be accountable for every word you speak out of your mouth. You're going to be accountable. Well, we're going to close this thing out. Everybody already know. Let's go to Matthew chapter 6, verse 9. We're going to close this thing out with the Lord's Prayer. And before we close it out, man, I'll be back. I don't know, because, I just be in and out now. We taking our time really reading. Well, I'm taking my time really reading out the Bible. But we going to read the Bible. That's most definite. We going to read this. Long God give me the wind and wakes me every day, we going to read this Bible. But I am Israel, a true seeker of Yahweh. Like, share, subscribe, and comment. So, let's close this thing on out. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debt as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not in temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. Amen. Israel, Israel, Israel. Like I always say, man, y'all endure these things to the end. Be patient. Keep the law, statute, commandment, and the judgment. It's things we have to do. And one day, we all gonna enjoy the fruits of our labor. Kwam Yasharala, Israel. Kwam Yasharala.